Hello everyone, this is Steven from MarTech Wiz. In this video we're going to look at Thrive Themes, a few plugins they have, landing pages, and Thrive Leads, and see how they stack up against the competition. Thrive is a powerful WordPress plugin suite. They have a massive number of features and really a great price, no matter if you go with the one-time payment or you go with membership pricing, and we'll talk about those towards the end. It can be a little bit more technical than most, but that's what you get with more power. So we'll walk through it, show you the inside of the tool and what we thought of it to see if it's a right tool for you. It ranked third best landing tool on our recent rankings that we did of over 15 different landing page builders. It scored a 8.75 out of 10, so a very, very good score. You should know this video is only a small part of a massive project that we did on landing page builders. We conducted tests on over 15 landing page tools and did some really rigorous analysis on 50 different factors. So you can find the full rankings, see who's number one, see what tool you're considering buying, where they landed, and in-depth reviews on all the landing page builders we looked at, all with video, and this is on the MarTech Wiz site. So just click on the link on screen here or the link in the description, and not only will you get that full analysis, there you can also obtain a free PDF buying guide. This encapsulates all of the most important nuggets that we learned throughout this long project, and we wanted to pass them along to you, and we think you'll really like them a lot. You start off by going to the dashboard, and right here I have downloaded two plugins, Leads and Landing Pages. So you can just use landing pages, and that does have some basic opt-in and lead capture capability, but Thrive Leads is just really that on steroids. You can do so many different options that I would really recommend getting these both together, or you can also do the membership for $19 a month paid annually, and that includes these two plus a couple other different plugins, and we'll go into the details of that towards the end. Now in the dashboard, it's a WordPress plugin, so you have everything right back here that you're familiar with. When you add a page with landing pages, it's added to your pages, all the other pages that you have in your WordPress site, so that's very convenient. The downside of being a WordPress plugin is you might find that there's some plugin conflicts. I found that with WordFence, and I found that with Auto Optimize as well. So you might have to make some different setting changes in the background, but once you do, everything seems to be working fine after a few settings are configured. So in the dashboard you have your API connection. So this is where you can set up the different connections with email service providers, with CRM systems. I have MailChimp set up, but you can really integrate it with tons of different tools here. So you see kind of a lot of the normal suspects plus a lot more, and really a lot of good options. And even if you don't see it here, since Thrive's landing pages does have an HTML container, if you can get an HTML form from whatever service provider you want to integrate with, you can integrate then. So it's not really limited to those. Nice option, you can add custom fonts here. You can download icon packs for an icon library, which is very helpful. And then you have some general settings and some notification settings down here. So to get started, let's take you into Thrive Leads so we can set up first our opt-in capture, and then set up a, let's start this from scratch. And then we can set up a page so we have an opt-in capture form to put on the page. So there's three different options in Leads. Leads is actually a bit confusing, but you'll get a hang of it after a while. You can set up a lead group, which has many different options. And this is if you were having a campaign and you wanted to have to have many different opt-ins under one campaign. So I won't go through this all, but basically what you can do anything from an in-content lead capture widget, a light box, which is like a pop-up, a ribbon that would be static on the top of the screen, an opt-in form post your article. You can do a screen overtake and a scroll map, a widget on the side, or a slide. And so tons of different options, as well as a PHP option. And then the nice thing about the groups is once you have a couple in here, you can test them versus each other. So you can test what works better, a slide in or a pop-up or a ribbon on the top of the screen. And even more detailed than that, you can set up 2 different ribbons or 2 different pop-ups, and then you can test those versus each other. So a lot of different things you can do. Also, you have a lot of great granularity in terms of which pages or posts you want them to be on. So you can do all pages or all posts, or get much more granular by category, by tag. So if you want everything to be on every page that has the landing page tag, you can go ahead and do that. And a lot of more options here. So as you can see, it's very, very powerful. Let's go ahead and add a 2-step Thrive box, because that's what we're going to put on our landing page. So I'll just name this TB1. There's a few different steps you have to go through with to build any type of opt-in form. So first you add it at the beginning step. Then second, you have to add a form that you are going to put into that opt-in. So just say form 1. Next, you have to edit it. And here you'll see another great library of all the different templates that they have. So you don't just edit it from scratch. You can if you want to. But they have tons of great looking form options here. So you really have plenty of nice looking options that should be very visually pleasing and should catch the eyes of your users. Here you can make any different changes. This is similar to the editor of the landing page tool, so we'll go into this more later, but of course you can make any text changes, any image changes, and a ton more. You'll see all the different widgets over here, countdown timer, call to action, quotes, really the list goes on. So one thing that's kind of annoying is you have to connect the service every time. So even though you saw that I hooked up MailChimp in the background, you still have to connect it to the form. And I find that you have to do this for every form. So it is there when we get all the way to this step, but for some reason you have to do that for every form. Then you can add or delete any forms that you want, or any fields you want on the form, and then save the changes, and we won't worry about the text because we're just worried more about the functionality. Okay, so this is TB1, and that is ready to go. Now if you wanted to, for example, clone it, you can do that, and then you can actually do an A/B test. So you could do call this form 2, and then you could send some traffic to both and test it that way. Now Thrive Leads has A/B testing, but one of the downsides of the landing pages, you can't A/B test landing pages in Thrive. So that's probably the biggest downside of this option. Now you can still A/B test using a third-party tool, or even using free Google experiments, and Thrive does have a post on that, so you can still do it, but it would of course be nicer if it was right in the tool itself. So let's go into building a landing page now, and you'll see how that works. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to do add a page. So we'll do add new. Let's just call this demo landing page. Save a draft. And then edit it in Thrive content builder. So the landing page plugin, no, that's not what I wanted to do. So the landing page plugin is actually comes with a full content editor. So it's basically a full site builder that is included in the price of the landing page builder. So you'll see it's much more robust than others. So if you click on the drop down, we can choose from all of the different landing page tools that they have here. So the designs range from good to great. Not the best templates we've seen in terms of design, but definitely you'll find some that should fit your needs. They also have a nice feature where they have a Thrive template cloud, so not to kind of bloat your plugin with all these themes that you might not want. This is a cloud, and you can just download the ones that you like and do it that way. So we can even go ahead and do that, show you how this works. And there is a third option where you can buy templates for Thrive Content Builder. I believe the website is called thelandingfactory.com, so we'll link to that in the article. So you'll see how these look. Very nice. This one especially is seems to be a newer one. Looks great. So let's go ahead and use this. Just download it, and fairly quickly it's added to your templates to use. So now we're going to go into the editor of the landing page building tool. And as you can see on the right, there are tons of options available. It's really far and away the most feature-packed landing page tool out there. So you do have undo functionality, you do have HTML blocks, you can save a template, which is nice. If you make changes to this or start from scratch and you really like the template or the style, you can save it as a template to use it later. And you can use this to actually switch the editor to different size and some other options. And then what is this? Revision manager. So that's if you want to go back and see past revisions. Okay, so one of the downsides of Thrive is just the builder itself is not our favorite type of builder. It's a column-based builder, so you see it's not completely drag and drop. So if I want to move this up here, wow, that was really weird. So if you want to move it up here, for example, it's not just going to go wherever you move it. It's got to fit into a certain grid or a certain column or a certain section. So you'll realize that when you start to move it, you'll see that green line. When that shows, that's when you know where it's going to move to. So if I move it here, now I know it's going to move there. If I move it down here, well, that's the same spot. But if we go down and say I put it there, now you know it's going to move there. So you don't have complete flexibility into where you want the elements to go. That said, it is a good column-based system. It's better than a lot of others we've seen. It has a nice option here where you can just pull an item below. You can create a new column by putting it there on the side of the existing section. But now if you have it here, for example, let's put it back there, you know, say you want to line it up. It's kind of annoying because then you have to go into the margins and you have to mess with these. And if it was a pixel precise drag and drop, you could just drag it down and you'd have it no problem. But it's not, so we have to do some things like that. Not a deal breaker, but definitely loses some points on that in terms of usability. Other inherent downsides of this type of editor is you can't overlap items. So say you have this nice picture right here, and say you want to kind of put this right there. You just can't do that. You can't overlap text with items, or really any items. One nice thing we like about the editor is that it's almost full screen. what we found is that even if you can collapse the editor, but we found no way to get the editor uncollapsed so we can see it again. There's got to be a way, but we just couldn't find it, so that was kind of weird. So we're not going to collapse it, but that is an option where you can when you can collapse it. And then the canvas for the template is basically full screen. Some things we would like to see that they don't have is color overlay. So this is kind of an example of color overlay, but we believe that they did this outside of the tool. So basically color overlay is putting a mask, like on this side you'll see it's a little mask, transparent, but has some color to it, and this side doesn't. Some tools, if you add an image, say we add an image here, you'll have that option. So just put a random picture in there. They don't have any option to put any type of mask color on top of it. One nice thing though about the image, which most of these types of column base don't have, is they have this slider for sizing. Now they don't have this for every element. I would love to see that, but for the image it's just great. And then you're gonna have to move it with the manual options and with margins and paddings to get it exactly where you want it to go. But you can get it to where you want to go. It's just not as easy as some other builders. Now let's take a deeper look into all of the different options that they have, and this is really the strength of Thrive landing pages. So we won't go through all these. Of course, you can do text, you can add WordPress posts. I don't think you'd probably do that in a landing page. We talked about image. Let's go into button. Now, when we go into button, remember we made that Thrive box. I want to show you how we connect that up now. You can, of course, style this any way you want, but I just want to show you how to connect this up. So you add an event from the event manager, and let's do on click as the trigger, and the action is open a Thrive Leads Thrive box. So you basically just pick the one that we did and you save it. And we can close it out now. So if we save this and preview it, we'll see how that looks when that loads. You also have an icon library. One thing that you have to know is that you have to load icons before, so they're only going to be loaded with those that are on the template, but you have to go back to the dashboard and then add them. Okay, so let's see if this works with the Thrive Leads box. It comes up just how we wanted it. Looks great. Does a little kind of light box, so there's a black background behind it, and this typically converts better than if you're going to put just this form itself on the page, which you can do as well if you prefer that. Custom HTML, CMS, star ratings. What are some things that I like? If you want to add a column, you can. How many columns you want, you can do that. I like some of these options for the what they call number boxes. Very easy to either do an icon or a number. So I think those look nice. What else do we have here? Testimonial you can do. So those are a nice option. Call to action button, guarantee boxes, which can show like your 30-day guarantee with a badge symbol. And we can do pricing tables. I mean, it's almost endless what you can do with the plugin. You can do tables, and tables look nice, and that's an option I haven't seen in a lot of different landing page builders, but it's something that I could see some use cases for that and where people would want a tool. So a nice looking simple table you can add in there. You can add some very nice data elements, they call it, which is like a progress bar, and this is completely customizable. So if you wanted to say a random 37% filled, you can do that, like, or whatever number. So say you have 3 pages, it's like a 3-step opt-in, and you can change what you want it to say, and you can also change the color of the fill there. Countdown timer is always a nice option. So we have a couple different styles here. I like 2 the best. Let's put that in the middle. You can just put what date and time you want it to end at, and then a message to show on complete. And lead generation, this is the basic option you would get, I believe, if you didn't have Thrive leads. So you still get some options. You can also create a lightbox without that Thrive leads, but it's going to be much more simple than the other options. So that's why we recommend going with Thrive leads. Okay, so let's refresh this preview and see how it looks. Obviously, we didn't worry about the style. We were just throwing things on the page, but you see the progress bar is animated. Countdown timer looks good. This is still working. Let's see how it will look on more of a mobile viewport. I mean, everything is in its place where it needs to be. So even though we threw some funky elements in there in weird places, everything lines up well. So it's looking good. Integrations. The integrations we mentioned before integrates in a lot of different things. So basically, any CRM system, any email system that you want, there's probably a way to do that. In terms of payment options, what we did was so there's 2 different payment options. We did a single site license for the Thrive leads and the Thrive landing pages, which is $67 each. So that comes out to what, $134. Now that means you have it forever, basically unlimited updates and only one full year of support. And you can buy more support if you want to in the future. Now another good option is the Thrive membership. And basically what this is it's kind of misleading here. It's actually $228 per year because you can only buy it annually or quarterly. So that's the equivalent of $19 a month, but there's no option to buy per month. So that's $228, and that includes, I believe, 6 or 8 Thrive products. The main ones are the landing pages and the leads, which we went over, but it does have some other nice tools that are not as important, but there's some things like testimonial plugins, a headline optimizer, so some things that would be cool. You can also buy quarterly for $75, and that would be the equivalent to $25 per month. So it's a 3-month membership. Even if you compare this, I mean, we would prefer to buy it in a one-time payment because then we own it. We don't have to worry about the monthly payments. But even if you compare this monthly payment versus a lot of the other landing page tools, it's a great economical option. And if you choose to buy it with the one-time buy, I mean, $67 for everything that's included here could easily be a month or 2 of another landing page tool, just month to month. And like I said, landing pages comes with some basic lead capturing capability, so you don't necessarily need to buy Thrive leads, but to do all of those different lead captures, to be able to put them on different pages, have that logic, you're going to need Thrive leads. So we recommend it, but it's not completely necessary. So in the end, Thrive leads has a ton of different factors that you can use. It is a great option, especially if you prefer a WordPress plugin. It's going to be the best in the game by far. And for your needs, let's say if you like a lot of options, if you're not scared to get a little technical in certain parts here and there, it could be the best tool for you overall. Again, we ranked it our 3rd overall with an 8.75, and that score came from design. We gave it an 8. Usability, we gave it an 8. With the features, a 9. If it had A/B testing, it'd probably be a 10. And pricing, we give it a 10 because with a one-time payment or even with the monthly, it's a very good value. So this is just one out of more than 15 landing page tools that we've reviewed at MarTech Wiz. You can check those out at this link on the site, see which was number 1, And you can also download a free buying guide that we have that goes over all the important factors that you would need to check out when you're deciding which is the best landing tool for you. And trust me, we know all of those because we looked at over 20, so we know kind of what are the available options out there. So thanks again for watching, and this is Steven from MarTech Wiz. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.